Welcome, everyone. Good evening. I can't think of a better way to start a show with someone as so iconic as Dorothy Zender, right?
Is she the sweetest thing you ever saw? I mean, God bless her. You know, she's been doing it for so long, and she just personifies that whole town.
She sure does. Well, welcome to Come Together. This is a pure Michigan relief effort to support our hospitality and tourism workers across the state. I'm John Gonzalez from MLive.com and Michigan's Best. I'll be one of your co-hosts. I'm over here in Grand Rapids, and joining us from the other side of the state, I'm laughing because I've learned a lot about you, Tom, in the last couple of days.
Yeah, probably more than you wanted to know, actually.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, Tom Dalton from Under the Radar Michigan on PBS TV. John, I have to take a minute to issue a bit of a warning to our audience tonight that because of the extreme pleasure you're going to feel when you donate tonight, and because of all the fun you're going to have, you may find this program to be, well, habit forming. So you can do one of two things. You can either consult a doctor, which I do not recommend, or you can like us on Facebook, share this with your friends, and then when you get a chance when you're donating, purchase one of these awesome T-shirts that John and I are wearing. It all helps the cause of, as you know, a lot of hospitality workers have been displaced, a lot of restaurant workers and hotel people, and this is all about helping them. So do what you can tonight, have some fun, and John, as a wiser man than I once said, let's get her going.
Let's get her going. Folks, like Tom said, share this with your friends because the last couple nights have been so much fun. A lot of surprises along the way, and you never know what's going to happen. Great music entertainment tonight. Can't wait to share that with you because it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, speaking of getting things going, joining us now is our first guest. Who is he, Tom?
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited about this because I've been a Red Wings fan since, Olympia, Joe Louis Arena, and now, Little Caesars Arena. The head coach of the Detroit Red Wings, Jeff Blashill. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Good to be on and good to be active right now.
Yeah, well, what a weird way to end a hockey season. I mean, how bizarre.
100%. We were in Washington and getting ready to play our next game, and you obviously saw a little bit of the buildup. And the night before the NBA season went on pause, and at that point we knew, that there was a definite potential that our season could do the same. And right now we're still on pause. We're not sure what's going to happen, but that's just part of what we're all living. We don't know what tomorrow brings yet, and so we're just hunkered in right now and hoping there's a better day tomorrow.
Obviously, today we're talking about our hospitality workers and those employees that their lives are affected. And I would imagine as a professional in the professional sports like hockey that you're surrounded every day by these other professionals who are there to serve you and help you out every day.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the hospitality end of it, we hit every single day, and there's a lot of people in that we come into close contact with that are really good friends of all of us, the coaches, the players that are in a tough spot right now because of this. There's no games, there's no concerts, there's no activity, and so I certainly understand and empathize with what so many people are going through right now, and it's super unfortunate with the virus, and so this effort to me hit close to home. It's something that means a lot to me. I've also got lots of friends out there in the hospitality business throughout Michigan. I grew up in Michigan, and so anything we can do to help, I was certainly on board for that.
Speaking of growing up in Michigan, I don't think people realize what a Michigan guy you are. You were born in the Detroit area. You grew up in Sault Ste. Marie, played college hockey up in Big Rapids at Ferris, then you coached at Western Michigan. Then you brought the first Calder Cup to the Griffins in Grand Rapids, and now you're back in Detroit. It's like you did the circle tour of Michigan.
Yeah, the only part I didn't hit in terms of living was the Western UP, and we did that this year for an exhibition game, So I was born in Detroit. My dad was a Detroit cop. Both my parents grew up in Michigan. I ended up growing up in the Sioux. We moved to the Sioux when I was really young and had a great experience there. And as you said, most of my family, my parents and both my sisters live in Traverse City, Michigan right now. My brother still lives in Big Rapids, Michigan, and I've done a complete tour. And honestly, I feel so lucky to have been able to, in this type of career, spend so much time in a state that I'm so passionate about. And, we travel across North America, and whenever I travel across North America, it's almost a running joke amongst our coaching staff because we have so many Michiganders, Dan Bilesma, Adam Nightingale, and we talk about it all the time that we're constantly selling the pure Michigan to everybody we run across, and I think we're certainly biased, but we think it's the best place on earth.
You also have another perspective too, Jeff, that your sister is a hospital worker, right, in the Traverse City area, in charge of 2 different counties. And today's National Nurses Day, so I'm sure that those employees and those hospital workers are also close to you as well.
For sure. My sister runs a couple different health departments of 2 different counties up near the Traverse City area. Has been a nurse her whole life. My mom was a nurse her whole life and then taught nursing for a number of years, and then also ran a number of health departments up in the UP. My sister, actually, my other sister was a CEO of a hospitalist group for a period of time that just ended about a year ago. So it's something that both my nieces, one of my nieces is now a nurse, the other one's studying to become a nurse. We know what I know firsthand, some of the stresses that my sister's facing. I know firsthand some of the courage that it takes, not just for my sister, but all of those people that are on the front line right now. Our team doctor is an emergency doctor, and he's on the front line every day, trying to help people through this. And it's been really hard times. And some of us are just hunkered in, and others are out there on the front line. And I certainly have an unbelievable appreciation for that.
Well, Jeff, thanks so much for coming on and helping us do this, because it's a great cause, and it's a week-long effort that we're doing here. So it almost feels like a hockey game. It feels like a 5-period game. But one final question for you: is Bertuzzi going to get his tooth fixed in the off season?
Either tooth fixed or haircut, and I don't think either one of those is happening right now. So I think right now the odds of that happening were slim to none to start, and now they're really none. So we'll see. I don't know. As long as he keeps playing hard and going to the net hard, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much again for joining us, and continued, good luck with whatever happens in the season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Go Wings.
Thank you.
So cool to catch up with him. Boy, I can't imagine what it's like for those athletes and those around the sport, all these professional sports.
Yeah, and he's the hardest working man in the hockey business. I have so much respect for him. He's so passionate, and he's so good at what he does. I think a lot of good things are coming for the Wings very soon.
All right, so the website is mrleaf.org. Don't forget to go there to donate and pledge some support there. We would really appreciate. You can get the cool T-shirt that Tom has been showing off the last couple of nights.
Small muscles I'm showing off.
I decided to wear mine as well, just so I didn't get in trouble with the boss there. But we need to introduce our first music act of the night.
Yeah, Max and Ruth Bloomquist. And these two have been together since the 70s. And I remember there's parts of the 70s I remember, but I don't remember the fun parts. But I understand you guys, it was love at first verse?
Second verse. More the second verse. It didn't take the first time. It took 2 different people to make it happen.
Right. Well, why don't you guys play a song for us? We'll come back and talk to you.
Right on. Well, it snowed last night in my hometown. All the schools have been shut down. Snow plows prowl the streets all by themselves. I remember times that happened to me, how glad I was to be set free. I wish that I could feel that way right now. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe it's something in the air. Maybe the leaves in the autumn that keep me coming back here. I'm a Michigan girl, raised in the shade of the white pine. I walk the trails of the porcupine, and I'm proud to call this home mine. Well, I heard they closed the bridge last week, 'cause the wind was high where the water's deep. The cars backed up for miles on both sides. I remember when we rode Big Mac, afraid we'd fall between the cracks. I can't wait to take that northern ride again. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe it's something in the air. Maybe the leaves in the autumn that keep me coming back here. I'm a Michigan girl, raised in the shade of the white pine. I walk the trails of the porcupine, and I'm proud to call this home mine. When the autumn leaves start coming down, dancing red and gold and oak tree brown, the kiss of summer still upon the air, I will somehow find my way back home to the golden dunes and the big lake home, rhythm of my heartbeat and my soul. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe it's something in the air. Maybe the leaves in the autumn that keep me coming back here. I'm a Michigan girl, raised in the shade of the white pine. I walk the trails of the porcupine, and I'm proud to call this home mine. I'm a Michigan girl, I'm raised in the shade of the white pine. I walk the trails of the porcupine, and I'm proud to call this home mine. I'm a Michigan girl, a Michigan girl, a Michigan girl.
Thank you.
Great song. Great song. Now, you guys are in the Norton Shores area, right?
That's right. We're born and raised in Norton Shores area.
Well, Tom Dalden, I think that means only one thing, right?
Well, we want to bring on one of your biggest fans ever, and that is Dave Lorenz.
Hey!
Oh, no. I'm sorry. I mean the little Dutch boy.
Hey, guys, you're sounding great. Thanks for being with us.
Good to see you.
David, it looks like maybe you moved a little bit south of here.
Well, just a little bit. Typically today I would have been sweeping the streets with. Actually, last year we were with Ginger
Z.
All right.
that are on today. And then guess who else? Last year, guess who else we were with? Tom Dalton.
Oh gosh, yeah, no,
and Jim Edelman. So, you know what? This is kind of what it's all about, isn't it? The tourism industry, we bring these memories and these great experiences normally. And of course, right now we're home. We need to stay home to keep other people safe. And luckily we get to listen to these great performers and hear Gonzo and Tom talk to all these really cool people this week. But this is for a reason. This week, we're trying to bring in some money for all those people who are usually out there entertaining us and serving us and providing us great memories. And you can help them right now. They're out of work right now, and they're really feeling the hurt. So there's the website, mrlaef.org. Please just give a little bit. In fact, it's so funny. I've been listening. My wife and I, Bertie, have been listening to Ruth and Max every weekend. And then so every time we listen, we just throw a little bit of money their way, and you can do the same thing tonight with this really great effort. So please consider it. Stick around for the entire time. It's going to be a great deal of fun. And wouldn't you like to be part of?
I would.
And you know why? Because you are pure Michigan. That's true.
Well, Dave, thank you, Dave. We'll have you come back a little later in the show so we can kind of recap where we're at. So,
all right.
Tom, we're having a great time learning more about Max and Ruth Bloomquist here. You guys have just been around for a long time. What keeps you going? Why do you keep doing this?
It's all the music. The music is the thing. That's where the energy comes from. That's where the reason to get out of bed in the morning comes from. It's all about the music.
And the fans, the people that
absolutely
that support the music, just always make us feel great, and we do our best to do the same for them. And
well, you've been in the state for a long time.
It's really addictive. Once you start, you kind of have to do it.
You've been in Michigan your whole life. What do you love about this state?
Well, I tell you, we've traveled all along especially along the west coast of the state, and played music. And there's a lot of wondrous musicians up along that coast, and we've played music with a bunch of them, and gone up across the bridge, which we absolutely love. Gone to the Hiawatha Music Festival in July, which has been canceled for this year, as well as Bliss Fest has been canceled, and it's going to be a real loss. But we love it. It's it fits. It's like you talk to people that are from Michigan, and it makes sense. They make sense. Yeah, they fit. And
like a glove.
It absolutely, absolutely. And people, every time we do this, we often go to Florida to play music in the winter, and they say, "Where are you from?" And and they go, "Oh no, not the hand."
Well, we love following your career. I know that you have a very active Facebook page. You're performing, I think, every Saturday night you're doing a concert. So that's great. Fans can keep up with you. We'd love to hear one more song. What do you have for us next?
We're going to do a little something called the Highway Song. It's officially another stupid car song, which all the songs that have been on Car Talk are officially stupid car songs. So this is our stupid car song, the Highway Song. Great talking to you guys.
You too.
1, 2, 3, and. I've been riding this highway through sun, rain, and snow, no longer counting the days, and those long white lines all look the same. Maybe I've lost my way. Maybe I should have left this highway behind me a long time ago. In my heart, feels like the right way to go. I can see them in the distance in my rear view mirror, and they're moving at the speed of light. Soon they'll be by me in a flash out of sight.
have seen on this highway some very fast cars trying to find their way through. All of that muscle and all of that power as if they had something to prove. Some of them drive like there'll be no tomorrow. Maybe for some that is true. Maybe that next shooting star in the sky will be you. I can see them in the distance in my rear view mirror, and they're moving at the speed of light. Soon they'll be by me in a flash, out of sight. I have shared this old highway with many a soul. Some of them drive 55. Sometimes they pass me, and sometimes they pass you. Sometimes we ride side by side. Often I wonder just where they're going, if they are now close to home. How long they'll stay there before they are tempted to roam. I can see them in the distance in my rear view mirror, and they're moving at the speed of light. Soon they'll be by me in a flash, out of sight. Oh, soon they'll be by me in a flash, out of sight.
Thank you so much, Max and Ruth. You guys are awesome. Stay safe. Keep a picking and a grinning.
Thank you very much. We'll do it. Hi, everybody out there.
They're such a sweet couple.
Yeah, they really are. Well, John, next up, as you know, when we first started doing our show, Under the Radar, there were a handful of restaurants in Detroit that, that we could feature. And now, in the past 10 years, if you're a foodie, Detroit has become a food mecca. I mean, there is so much variety and so many creative, innovative chefs doing so much great stuff. And I was downtown, actually in Midtown, not too long ago, and I went to a place called the Detroit Shipping Company. It's like a bunch of shipping containers that they put together to make this cool, funky space for restaurants. And I ate at a little place called COOP that's got African Caribbean fusion food. And I had no idea that a few months later, I'd be talking to the gentleman responsible for that incredible cuisine. And his name is, that's right, Chef Max Hardy.
What's up, my man? How are you?
Hey, Chef, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Okay, you safe at home?
I'm safe, man. Just here trying to get through this tough time, but, holding on.
Yeah, I've had your food, and it is, the flavor profiles are so vast and varied, you need a file cabinet to keep them all.
Right. Right. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's fun. Good concept down there.
Yeah, and you're also a celebrity chef that's been a chef to celebrities. You've been a celebrity chef for the NBA.
Yeah.
You've got your own line of chefware. I mean, you're a rising star in that world, and then all of a sudden this happens.
Yeah, no, it just kind of came at a tough time just because, I just got back from Super Bowl, cooking for different celebrities and athletes doing Super Bowl down in Miami. And then while I was there, it was like, hey, we got this, this epidemic getting ready to happen and something called Corona. I'm like, well, what the hell is that? And so I was scheduled to take a flight back to Detroit. And I was like, well, I'm gonna hang out for another 2 days and see just what's going on and how this really, is going to affect, just the restaurant industry and myself personally. So when I got back, man, it was like, all right, we got to close down and, things are starting to really pick up, which was a little scary. But yeah, it's kind of sucks. It was just like right in a good point. We had just released the spice line. We're getting ready to release the new Chef Max designs, chef jackets for the summer. We're in the middle of building out a new restaurant. COOP is, in the middle of the busiest time. So it was a little crazy just to.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Chef?
Yeah, I think we did. But I love what he's doing. I love Chef. The flavors you're bringing to the Motor City, and you are trying new things. But let's talk a little bit more about the struggles for not only you as a restaurateur, but the whole restaurant industry.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's really tough because like you don't know what's going to happen, right? And so I think this is a new normal for us. We don't know how to pivot and really what to do. The only thing we know, all right, let's do curbside, and that's like the answer for everything right now. Which, if the governor says, okay, we can open back up at 25% occupancy, how does that really work? Restaurants are already operating on small margins already, so to have only 25% in your restaurant, does that really make it? Because the time you open back up, gas, lights, all the bills start back rolling. Rent starts back rolling. Payroll taxes, all that stuff starts back, and so if only 25%, it would be really tough to get people to come in and make it make sense. So I'm a little apprehensive of that, but we'll see. But yeah, it really hit us hard.
Well, I understand you can make a quick salad for us tonight. Why don't you, if we could keep talking while you do that, that'd be great. Because I understand guys like you got to cook. You got to keep cooking.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I really wanted to do, during this time. So the last couple of days last 3 weeks, we've been cooking and feeding individuals at different shelters and organizations throughout Detroit. So right now we're at about 21,000 meals that we prepared over the last 30 days.
Wow.
To some of our local agencies, COTS, which is right in Midtown, NSO, some of our frontliners. And so we've just been trying to do our part every day. We had some just different organizations and chefs like join in to help us really make this make sense. And one, just to lift morale up during this time, because food brings everybody together and makes everyone happy. And so I just wanted to be able to use my skill set versus sitting around the house. Like, let me get in the kitchen and make it make sense. So we partner with an organization, Horatio Williams Foundation, and we've been helping them and doing stuff with them for the last 31 days. And so tomorrow we're feeding a little over 700 people tomorrow, which has been really good and a blessing for me just to get out the house and just have some fun.
Yeah, I heard that you've been doing a lot to help the needy, and that's just amazing. Why don't you really quick tell us what you are making? So just in case somebody wants to make this, we know what you're real quick. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I figure, it's spring. It doesn't feel like it out there, but I figure I make a spring salad with some little strawberries, some beets, a little ruby red grapefruit, and then a little kale. I made a nice little dressing vinaigrette earlier today, so we'll add that in there. So just something simple that you can do while you're at the house and have fun with the kids, or, if you're single, then just have some fun with yourself, just making some cool food. So I just like to do fun things that has a lot of colors and flavors, and so that's what we got going here.
Yeah, you said beets?
Yeah, I got some beets in there as well. Beets, strawberries, a little red onion. I'm adding little peppers in there, and then we'll top it off with a little kale. And then I'm going to sear off some turkey chops as well, just to have that to have on the side.
God, that sounds healthy and good.
Yeah, no, this is one of those things like, everybody's in the house and been cooking and eating all the snacks. So I want to do some stuff that's, a little more healthy and nutritious during this time.
Chef, I know that you said you like to make things colorful because, as you have said before, people eat with their eyes, right?
Yep, for sure. That's one of the things, even during this time, you get home and it's kind of just, like what I'm cooking tonight, if you, I like to theme stuff out, right? So like maybe Monday night is a theme night and, it's going to be, Taco Tuesday and just like all this kind of fun stuff to do and kind of give everybody something really to look forward to, and just using a lot of colors, a lot of spices, just like mix it up a little bit. Being at your home, you had nothing else to do, so you might as well try a bunch of stuff right now. Yeah, you guys be cooking at home?
Yeah, well, if you call what I make cooking, but, my wife Kathy's a very talented cook, and she does a lot of stuff like what you're making right now.
Okay.
We eat what I call close to the ground. It's all fresh, not a lot of pre-prepared foods.
Yep.
That looks amazing.
So right now you just got, just the kale in there. It's all kind of tossed in so you can see. Right. So you got your grapefruit, you got your beets in there, some peppers. Then I made a ranch and cilantro vinaigrette earlier.
That sounds great.
Right.
So we got to get this recipe so we can post it. So we can.
Yeah, I'll send that over tonight.
Awesome.
And then a little olive oil.
Oh God, we go through a bottle of olive oil a week at our.
Yeah. Me too. I put it in my wine bottle so people think it's wine. They don't think I'm going crazy.
Yeah, my wife's Southern Italian. She spoiled it for me. I can't go to Italian restaurants now because it doesn't compare with what she makes. It's just.
And of course, I'm gonna add a little Chef Max spice blend there. Can you see that?
There you go. Yeah, now we got it.
Yeah. This is our everyday spice, so you can get that on our website as well. It's one of those ingredients that you must have, and so I'm adding that into there as well. Give it a nice toss. And it's good, man. Like, it's right. You can make this ahead of time. If you use kale or spinach, it holds up really well.
Yeah.
So if you make it earlier in the afternoon and you want to have it for dinner, by the time you're ready to eat it, the kale kind of breaks down and become a little more palatable. Yeah. And so that's kind of like what you're looking at there.
Well, Chef, definitely get us that recipe, and we'll share it for everyone to maybe make that at home this week or this weekend.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and thanks for all you're doing for the less fortunate out there. Because it's when you said how many people you're feeding, that is amazing to me.
Yeah, tomorrow, man, we're really going to go crazy tomorrow. We're feeding TFC for breakfast tomorrow, 300, and then in the evening we're doing a curbside free meal giveaway at Horatio Williams Foundation. And that'll be going on from 12 to 3. And so hopefully we'll do about another 500, 600 meals. And then our state rep, Sherry, she's coming to feed 170 people, seniors tomorrow. So we got a little heavy lifting to do. So I'm going to enjoy this salad and get a little rest for tomorrow.
Well, stay safe. Stay safe and eat well. Well, I'm sure I know you'll eat well.
Right. Perfect, man. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
Take care. Telling a chef to eat well. Way to go, Tom.
No, I know. It's like Captain Obvious. It's like if you get a chance, get down to COOP, the Detroit shipping company, and it's just absolutely the flavor profiles. It's just go to the website, go to his face, and look at the pictures of the food alone will make you crazy. So.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're also feeding those that need it, right?
Yeah.
We just did something at MLive today called Feeding the Front Lines, where we served 2,250 meals to hospital workers across the state of Michigan, and we partner with some great sponsors to do that. You'll find the complete coverage on MLive.com. But it was just a cool thing to watch these people the restaurants give, these Michigan's best restaurants give, and the sponsors to help pick up the tab and pay for these meals. It was a pretty cool effort.
Right.
Speaking of great efforts, we have one going on right now.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's our effort. It's called Come Together. It's a relief effort. If you're just tuning in, for restaurant, hospitality workers, for hotel workers. So if you get a chance, go to the link below and give whatever you can. You can purchase this t-shirt and the proceeds go towards helping people that really need your help right now. People that started a restaurant and through no fault of their own, they're in big trouble. So if you get help.
Yes, and we're trying to help them out the best we can. You know what? I want to get back into the music. How about you?
Heck yeah. Plus, I'm really excited about this next group because I'm a relatively new fan of theirs. I just discovered them recently, and I've fallen in love with them. They're amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Accidentals.
Hey guys, thanks for having us on.
So sweet of you.
So great to see you guys. Obviously, we've known each other for a long time, and we've got a lot of songs to play. We're going to catch up with what's going on with your career. What's the first song you're going to play for us right now?
We're going to play the title track of our upcoming album, Vessel.
Awesome.
Stretches of empty spaces all day long. We'll share your silence when we're done. 'Cause I'm your vessel and you're my soul. So deeply, letting not come. slow and secretly. With every fiber, I build a bridge to where I wanna be. It's like parking past a moving car. You lose all sense of your perspective. Am I falling back or standing still? I guess it's all subjective. Tell me something, is this wrong? Every care we thought was there is gone. It's not a race, but it won't be outrun. 'Cause I'm your vessel and you're my soul. Get to where we wanna be. We'll get to where we wanna be. 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 Get to where we wanna be.
Oh,
Yeah, great,
awesome.
great song. Can't wait to hear the whole album. Hey, can you do one more song for us before we come back and talk a little?
Sure, absolutely.
Awesome. What are we going to hear next?
So we're gonna play a song that we just submitted for Tiny Desk Concerts through NPR, and this is one about nature kind of making a comeback right now. It's called The Line.
When I sing these words into an empty room, I'm not sure if they will even make a sound. If I burn my paper courage, if I sow it in the ground, will the ashes yield a seed to work around? There's a hollow that once held a sense of youth, a little patch of light I learned to cut into. To cash it in for something wiser, I just want a little truth, and maybe fire and flood that feeds deeper wounds. It used to be like a creek flowing from a summit I could never see. Now it's frozen dry, carving lines around my eyes, tracing knots along my spine. It's so hard to find the time to let it breathe, to find the line between the truth and the belief. War is young in terms of time, but it's got teeth, tearing families and futures at the seams. Be it oil or gold or water, we have always treasured greed. We won't bite the dying hand of history. To my friends who think you'll save yourself sometime, because the confidence is withered up and died. You are more than what you carry, you are more than what you hide. You will never know how much you leave behind. It used to be like a creek flowing from a summit I day dies in convulsion. I gotta smile away my pride, but my nerves are buzzing, rhythms like defective power lines, burning holes into my memories, screaming smoke into the sky. One day we'll talk about what stars used to be like. It used to be like a creek flowing from a summit I can never see. Now it's frozen dry, carving lines around my eyes, chasing knots along my spine. It's so hard to find the time to let it breathe. Find a line between the truth and the belief. Find a line between the truth and the belief.
Oh my God. Like I said before, I just discovered you guys this past year, and you guys have managed to carve out such an unusual, creative, one-of-a-kind sound. It's very few bands give me goosebumps anymore, and you guys totally do that. It's just amazing to me. So
Thank you so much.
I'm speechless, John. You say something.
No,
I am.
I feel like a proud father because I've known them since they were kids, even though they're still kids now, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they feel like they're my own kids. But I'll tell you what, Katie, Sav, Michael, you guys are so talented. We're going to catch up on what's going on with your career, but we got to bring a couple more guests in first. Then we're going to come back because you've been so gracious to give your time to be on this show with us right now. So we have another special guest and someone I've known for a long time. Guess who that is, Tom Dalton?
Oh my gosh. Does it have something to do with ABC News?
Good Morning America. You got it.
Gosh. My wife and I are huge ABC News junkies, and we've been fans of yours, Ginger, for so long.
Oh,
that
thank you.
Every time you come on the screen or whatever it is now, it's like you make us smile. It's just, and the fact that you're from Rockford, Michigan.
Right there,
yeah,
right around the corner. I just realized how much headroom I have. Hold on. I had to move to the kitchen because the Wi-Fi in the pretty room doesn't work. Like it's so inconsistent. So welcome to my kitchen.
Well, are you aware of the fact that we filmed a thing on a little store in Rockford called Herman's Boy?
Yeah.
And I went into one of the rooms there and I saw a picture of you on the wall. Then I saw another picture. Then it's some.
I was going to say not just one picture.
They have a whole shrine set up to you there. So yeah.
Yes,
So you're a Michigan girl.
Cast. Yes, I am. And Rockford being, home, I went to a lot of schools. I moved a lot around West Michigan. So, and then I worked there and I worked in mid Michigan. And so I feel like I really have that Michigan root, and it is so strong that even right now with the thought of potentially not being able to come back, I'm like, that's a very weird thought because it's been a long time for me to not have touched Lake Michigan and to not have had that moment of zen that I get when I get home. I love New York and I love where I live now, but it will never be Michigan, and even Tom, I have to say, hearing your accent, because it's Michigan, it brings me right home.
Yeah, I say chocolate. We all talk to our nose here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ginger, we love how you do talk about Michigan on a national level when you are on ABC. But I love how you just, it's just part of your delivery, right? And you are acknowledging all parts of the country. But we do like it when you mention Michigan every once in a while.
It's hard not to, because you speak what you know. And I would say in meteorology, my subject that I'm most educated in starts with my storm chasing experience when I went to Valparaiso University, so Indiana. And then I worked in Chicago. And so anything around the Great Lakes, I'm more comfortable with, and it just draws my hands and eyes to it no matter what I'm doing. You take me over to Oregon or Washington State and I'm a little more like, it's not in me as much, like I know the roads. I know exactly where that lake effect snow band sets up on 94. Those are the things that you can connect when you're talking about weather. So too bad the nation's getting it. It's getting Michigan if they didn't want it or not.
Well, speaking of lake effect, I read somewhere, tell me if it's true, that you decided you wanted to become a meteorologist when you were 8 years old because you saw a water spout over Lake Michigan.
Yeah, so the story really starts after my parents divorced. My mom was dating our dentist, which is always weird. And it's a great story because he eventually didn't work out, but he had like dentist money, and we had never had the opportunity to stay on Lake Michigan. So we were at his cottage on Lake Michigan the whole summer. I think it was 88. It must have been 88 or 89. And I'll have to look at the storms, the reports actually. It was a very stormy summer. So we regularly saw these giant thunderstorms coming across the lake. And at one point saw water spouts. And to me, that just it was the start and the end, because that's all I needed in my life was to figure out where that power and energy was coming from, how that thing put together. And then I realized there's a puzzle up there and I want to put that together. And that's the puzzle I've been working on for my whole life. So yes, it was all born right there.
Ginger, the other thing too I wanted to just acknowledge is that you are doing an incredible job of keeping people up to date of your personal life and what's going on behind the scenes. Are you actually doing a cooking show with,
Oh, yeah.
on Facebook?
Doing as on Facebook, I'm doing it on Instagram. There's one thing after I had children, like I've always enjoyed cooking, but I wouldn't say that I lived in an apartment most of the time. I didn't have the ability to really cook, and I didn't have the need to. Now that I've got 2 young children, a husband, and a family that needs to eat at a certain time, because my 2-year-old, if he doesn't eat by 5, he's just a wreck.
Me too.
It suddenly, by 2:00 in the afternoon, it started hitting me. Even when I work a split shift, I got to get something together here if we're not already thinking about it. And so I went into this vision of how could this be more fun for me and more interactive, because I made everything on my favorite website that she had out there. And I was just bored. And so I started asking people, and then I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of a show. And so I started a segment on GMA, Ginger's Cook Club, like a book club, but a cook club. And then it's grown into a vast Facebook group. And now I'm doing these Instagram lives where I'm bringing everybody from, chefs like I have on Clinton Kelly from The Chew back in the day. He's coming on next week. And then I've got my friends and family coming on. So it's like a real mix of all these people. And what a better way to connect to people and learn, because every single dish I make, even when I made popcorn with Paula Ferris, who's also from Michigan, and it's popcorn, I still learn. And we learn about each other. And it's just the best way to bring people together. The chef just said it. Chef Max just said it, right? Food is it. And that to me is the thing that connects us all. And then by the end of it, selfishly, dinner's done. And my kids are fed and I'm happy. So yes, I've started branching out a bit. And there's science in food, so it works.
There is. Hey, one last thing we have to ask you about is Chasing Helicity. I mean, you're also an author, right? And this is your new book is just out right now.
Yes. And so I love that kids have STEM now, even if it's virtual. The science, technology, engineering, and math, those were the subjects that I inherently loved. I just told you, every time I go outside, still to this day, I'm always looking up and figuring out that puzzle. Now there are actual, courses that kids can take, and how wonderful that I could have been if we would have had that. But now that that's out there, I thought there's not a lot of books that go along with that. And I think the greatest thing is to put adventure and fun with embedded science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's what my books are. So it's a trilogy. It's called Chasing Helicity. Helicity is my favorite tornado variable when I'm storm chasing. That's the one that I always look at for rotation in the atmosphere. I wanted to name a daughter that, but I never had one. And my husband said no. So naming a character worked. But it really, that book, this final chapter of Helicity's story was difficult because I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop telling her. It's me. I mean, let's be honest. The story is based on a young girl from West Michigan that just happens to run into giant storms, that I've really put all of my storm chasing experiences into this young girl and her life and what she learns. And the beauty of it is it doesn't just stop at science. At the end of the trilogy, she has learned a lot of the life lessons that it took me nearly 40 years to learn, but she's learning them by the age of 14 or 15. So I'm hoping that the reader comes along with that. It's mostly for like an 8 to 12-year-old, but it sounds like adults seem to like it, and everybody in between. So I hope that people get into it and read it. And I've been doing a lot of school talks everywhere across the nation. I Zoom bomb, but they don't mind. I drop in. I'm like, hello, I'm here to talk about science. Let's do this.
Well, Ginger, as you know, this whole effort that we're doing, this week-long come together thing is all about hospitality workers, restaurant workers, hotel workers. And it's important that we help these people because they need it right now.
Oh my gosh, this is the time. If you have the ability to help, not just, a financial donation, but we've been doing it around here because we have a lot of small businesses in these tiny towns along the Hudson River that we live near. And these restaurants, we know where they're at. We've actually met the owners. We know them. It's a very tender time for people who have these small businesses. I grew up as a daughter of my father, who was an immigrant, who had a small business. And I can only imagine had this happened in the heart of his difficult time, and how much stress this puts on. So we eat out as much as possible. While I'm cooking quite a bit, we are trying to support there. But I also think I worked in the entertainment and restaurant business when I was in West Michigan. For 10 years, I worked serving and bussing tables. And I have such still friends that are working there that still have restaurants. It's very hard for me to even conceptualize and to imagine what they're going through. But I know that if we even one Taco Tuesday, Takeout Taco Tuesday, can really make that difference. And I hope that this will do something for them. I was just on the website, though. I have to show you. Right before this, I was like, I'm going to go order those spices because you know what? I know I can use. So I was on Chef Max's. I went to the Accidentals. I'm like, that's the thing, is that, we have this common thread, and Michigan is special, and there's nothing that can take that away from us. And we should not only let everybody else know, but keep it special. And that's the way it's going to have to be financial. And this is the moment. This is when we take care of each other. So I'm all in. I'm ready to support everybody.
Ginger, we can't thank you enough for all you're doing. Not only here tonight and volunteering of your time and taking away from your family, but also what you're doing on a national level to keep Michigan on the forefront. Thank you so much.
Yeah, next time wave at me, okay?
I will. It'll be a real Michigan wave too.
There you go.
Take care, Ginger. So great to talk to her.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, are we gonna have some more music from the Accidentals? Or
yeah. This show's running a little long, but that's okay, right?
It's okay with me.
Sav, Katie, you guys ready for one more?
Heck yeah. Here we go. This one's called Go Getter.
Of a sheet of tinfoil that I crush inside of me, a story to be told in every fold and every crease. I'm smoothing out the edges, cutting corners piece by piece, but I can barely breathe. Anger is a sickness and it's boiling in my blood, so I seethe into the void that's left behind with every thud of the door that leads to healing. When I come close, it swings shut. I've had enough. Try to give it time. Life will teach you how to live. You just have to live it for a while. Put it together. Shake off the pressure. Sometimes you gotta put it down to feel it better. Love it or hate it, it's how we never. You gotta be a go-getter. Sorrow took you over like a cloud above your house. But you built it for your burdens, more were coming unannounced. I brought flowers for your garden, but the weeds still choked them out like a seed of doubt. Hope was sending signals, but you couldn't see the signs. You had spent your whole life driving all those thoughts out of your mind, with your foot pressed pressure. Oh, sometimes you gotta burn it down to build it better. Love it or hate it, it's now or never. You gotta be a go-getter. Oh, 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 pull it together. Oh, 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 she got the pressure.
Hey, at your next concert, if you see a creepy older guy with a mustache and a funny hat in the front row, that's me.
You guys just continue to get better and better. I think there's some bands that just peak at certain times. They might come out the gate really hot and then just kind of struggle to find that magic. How do you guys continue to do it? I mean, is it just the closeness of the group? Are you guys always experimenting? How do you do it?
Oh man, yeah, we secretly hate each other. No, we're quarantined together. We're quarantined together, and we've really had the opportunity to really.
Maybe I'm muted.
Yeah. Oh, can you hear me?
You just gotta get closer to the mic.
Oh, you got. Okay,
No.
gotcha.
There you go.
Anyway, so what I was saying is that we're quarantined together, and we've had the opportunity to be really creative together as a result. Every week we put out a different cover of a different female artist who inspires us. We called it Play Your Paragon. It comes out every Wednesday on YouTube, so that's just one thing.
Yeah, Sav's been really interested. We love learning, so Sav's been studying how to live stream and putting together manuals and sharing them for other artists and musicians. And we've been doing a daily live stream at noon just to take a little breather out of our day on Facebook and take a deep breath and remind ourselves to be grateful for everyone who's out there on the front lines and also everyone staying at home. And we talk about books and play a song or two. So
it's pretty cool, actually.
Is this a little refreshing for you guys? Because didn't you guys do like 1,000 concerts, 1,000 shows in like less than 5 years?
We did, and it feels like we haven't stopped moving, even though we are literally have stopped moving at this point. We're still continuing to put our creativity to work every day, and we're actually finishing our upcoming record up here in the attic that we are live streaming from. We're building a studio. We spent all day on it, so we're going to be finishing our record here.
That is awesome. Yeah, again, you guys have combined so many genres that you've carved out your own sound. There's nobody that sounds like you guys. It's amazing to me. And you guys met in high school, right?
Yeah, we've been a band for about 8 years now. So Sav and I, we met at Traverse City West Senior High through our public school music programs in orchestra class. And we met Michael a few years after that at Bliss Festival. So we're really appreciative to the local arts and music scene. It's what brought us together.
Yeah, big shout out to educators, especially in the music field. They're doing amazing things, and we would not be a band without them. So
that's all. We had a request for the Michigan song.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can do that or not. I've lost John. I can't see John anywhere, so I hope he's still with me. So while we're trying to figure out where John went, if you guys could play that song, it'd be wonderful.
Sure, yeah. This is actually a song we get requests from every state that we used to travel to, So it's nice to have a little piece of home to carry with us everywhere.
And this is a sing-along, so if you're sitting at home, wherever you are, whatever state you're in.
We can hear you. Just kidding.
We'll be listening. It's called Michigan and Again.
We lay down in the grass in our nest of sleeping bags, breathing in the shallow canyon air. The water 45 degrees. We wade out to the knees and soak to the sleeves in a semi-aquatic prayer. Grace to what say my end.
conifers, lining the driveway, whispering, stay, 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 stay. Stay, 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 stay. Great stay, always stay in my end. Compass roses bloom again. Home of the water, where it started. Cradle and pressing Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again. Michigan and again and again and again and again.
Well, all I can say is thank goodness they muted my mic because I was singing the whole time.
No, it's great to hear that song. I know you're probably getting a little tired of playing it, but no, we really do appreciate it.
No, we don't get tired of that one. Actually, the best version is when we do it with like a youth orchestra and all the kids are singing and playing along. That's always the best one.
Very, very cool. We're going to take a little break, if you don't mind, because we're going to go to Dave Lorenz, I think, right?
Yep. Let's go to Dave. Maybe they can play us out a little bit later. Oh, there he is.
Hey.
Dad.
Hey, guys. I've been singing along as well. My gosh, are those kids talented, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. It's just, I almost start to well up and cry every song they sing. They're awesome. Awesome.
I'm the same way. And you know, I was thinking, I was watching the comments come in on Facebook Live, and people are just loving it, and they're really appreciating the performers and the great comments from all of our guests and from you guys. And, you know, this is all in support of those folks who are out there usually serving us, literally serving us at restaurants and hotels and such. So if you could, please go to that website, mrlaef.org, and just give what you can. And the thing is, you don't have to give a lot. You really don't. $5-10, whatever it is. I was counting the different Facebook Live. There are different sources of streaming this live right now. And there are like 300 people watching over here and 200 and something watching over there. And before you know it, it really adds up. So if all of us gave something tonight, that would go so far to help these people. So please consider that. You know, I watch PBS all the time, Tom, and I know, you know, the PBS, they always are asking for money, and we're trying to help out here and there. So I know you get a little tired of it, but it's so important that we do it right now. And the thing is, after a couple of days, last time you're going to hear from us, so you might as well do it right now.
Well, the way I look at it right now is, look at all the money we're saving by not going out to restaurants, and we're not tipping anybody. So take all that money that you would have spent over the last 40, 50 days tipping at restaurants, and now's your chance to tip now. Do it now.
Yeah. And the thing about Michigan, there's just some generous thing. You know, you listen to the guests you've had on and how giving they are and how genuine they are. Everybody from Max the chef to, you know, Ruth and Max and everybody. Yeah. It's Ginger. I mean, the Accidentals. It's incredible how caring all these people are. That's pure Michigan. You know, like we say, we're two peninsulas. We're one pure Michigan. By the way, you can get this shirt if you go to that MRLAEF.org website. Right. Order it for like $28, and then $5 goes to the site. So
we're all wearing the shirts at the same time.
We are. So By the way, there are people all over the country watching this, guys. I'm seeing comments come from all over. I have my fellow travel directors around the country who are telling me that, man, they're so impressed what you guys are doing. So keep it up. A couple more nights after tonight.
Yep.
Well, Dave, thank you so much. We might have you come back a little later, or just sing along if we can't see you.
I'm
Okay.
just enjoying the show.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dave. You know what? I believe, Mr. Tom Dalden, that we have a very special guest. He's not from Michigan, but he loves Michigan.
And I understand he's a guitar slinger who is now a bourbon slinger.
Neil Spider Geraldo, how you doing?
The best looking thing in the picture right here. Right here. You see this?
Yep.
3-chord bourbon.
If it was 2-chord bourbon, I could maybe play it, but
no, come on. 3-chord and the truth. 3 chords and the truth is the same. And I left the S off because 3 chords bourbon sounded bad to me. I thought 3-chord bourbon was more elegant and made more sense to me.
Yeah. So what's an Ohio guy doing making bourbon in Michigan?
It's funny you should say that. I cross the line sometimes. It's okay. No, when I was a child, I have a lot of relatives in Michigan, and when I was a young boy, 5-6 years old, there's this little boat that left from Cleveland to Windsor called the Aquarama. And my parents put me on the boat and my sister, and we would go across Lake Erie, and my favorite Aunt Aggie and Uncle Archibald would pick us up. And I remember he had a big Cadillac and it was a convertible, and she was my favorite aunt. She was so sweet. And she would just drive us around, and he'd take me back to the boat and bring me back. So I had a lot of relatives in Dearborn and places like that in Michigan. So yeah, I love the state.
Well, we love that you're making this bourbon right here in Michigan. But I know that you, like so many other musicians and entertainers, that know firsthand what it's like for those in the tourism and hospitality industry that are being affected by this, and it's hitting pretty close to you too.
It's awful. It is awful. These are horrible times to be going through. Very challenging. I say a lot about as a musician, and you play locally, say, and you live day to day, paycheck to paycheck, which is your gig money, right? And you put your guitar in your case or your sticks or whatever, and you go to the gig, you do the gig, you go back home, right? You get paid, then you go the next day and do that. The doors are locked. There's no clubs. There's no bars. There's no place to work. And it doesn't look very pleasing that it's going to happen anytime soon. And it is very difficult. So not only do you not have a job to go to, first of all, let me just say this. My Uncle Sam told me, he was my favorite uncle. My favorite aunt is Aunt Egg. My favorite uncle was Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam said, Nilo, he called me Nilo. All my Italian relatives did. Nilo, I've tried every way possible to not work and make a living. Do not be a musician. That's what he told me. And of course, I didn't listen to him. But he didn't realize it. It is a lot of work. But he just felt like if you're a musician, you don't work. But you do. You work very, very hard. And these musicians, I feel so bad for them. I mean, the doors are shut. They're locked. All the retailers. I mean, in the town I live in now, I buy gift cards. I try to do everything I can for the retailers because I want them to stay in business. This is difficult. Very difficult times.
Yeah. Well, with Imperial Beverage, you and several other distillers here in Michigan pooled your money together to make a $10,000 donation to the relief fund. We can't thank you enough for that.
Sure. Joe is great. Joe, the CEO from Imperial, what a great guy. I did that Catalyst speaking engagement, with all the other different speakers and business people, small business, medium and large, and boy, everybody there I loved. The support of the state of Michigan is phenomenal. You guys really find a way to really join all together, and I had such a great time, and I met so many phenomenal people. And Joe's just such a great guy, and it was his idea. I mean, we got with the other distillers. It's not a competition, It's like when you make music. People always say, "Oh, you got to get to number one. You got to beat this band out. You got to beat this." No, there's room for everybody. You do the best you can, and you do gigs with other bands that are on the same bill. You want them to do good. That's just how you do things. So this is a great way, a great spirit of bringing everybody together.
Yeah, we have to thank also 3 Chord Bourbon, of course, Ann Arbor Distilling Company, Mammoth Distilling, Grand Traverse Distillery, Temperance Distilling, everyone coming together for that. Now, Tom, on the show yesterday, we had tequila. today. I mean, Neil, can you take us through a little tasting of your bourbon real quick?
Yeah, right here. So the reason, okay, here it is. We're close. What is it, May 6th now? Okay. In 10 days will be our anniversary. May 16th, 2016, Steel Bending Spirits was born. Okay, so now I got to take you through the name because this is kind of important. So I write songs, I write music, and I dabble in screenplay writing, and I write a lot. And I got a couple books I'm working on, and hopefully I'll get them finished one of these days. So I write a lot. I love it. So I was working on this treatment for a screenplay, and I met a good friend of mine, and I'll shorten the story up. And it was May 16th, and I said, I would love to get like a trailer made for the film, and then we could get some independent funding, some angel or seed money, And he says, well, that's a great idea. He says, why don't we get a bourbon company or a whiskey company to give us some seed money? We can get the trailer made, and then we can get the film finished, right? Or going, right? And I says, why don't we just start our own company? And he looked at me, and he knows that's the kind of guy I am. I'm kind of goofy like that. If somebody says something, I get an idea. I charge right in, right? So he says, you're kidding. I said, no, I'm serious. So on that day, May 16th, 2016, Steel Bending Spirits was born. That was the name of the company that I chose, right? But originally I called it Steel Bending Bourbon. Now, who's going to drink steel bending bourbon? That sounds awful. Let me have a steel bending bourbon. It's awful, right? So what happened was this. I needed a name, and I was really getting depressed because every name I had, I called my trademark attorney, and he said, nope, sorry, it's taken. Sorry, it's taken. I had great names, too. I really thought I had it, right? So finally, he said to me, he goes, the reason why you don't have the name yet? I says, why? And he says, because the best one hasn't happened yet. And I started thinking about that. And I woke up the next day and I went, 3-Chord Bourbon. That's it. And I called it and we got the name.
Not Benatar Bourbon?
That's how we got. No. No. Absolutely 1,000% not. 3-Chord Bourbon is the name of that. And that was a foolish thing to say. And there's no way that would be called that. So 3-Chord Bourbon. And we chose bourbon because I did because it was very difficult. I thought, cognac's difficult, scotch, all these things like that. But I didn't want to make vodka and I didn't want to make tequila. I wanted to go for something to be a little more brave, disruptive, like I am in my music world. I'm a disruptor, I don't do things by the book, and I like to be brave. So
good bourbon is tough to make. It really is
tough, very difficult.
Spider, as you know, I've sampled that bourbon.
Yes, you did
a couple of years ago. Yes,
the early stages. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then we started with the blend, and then we went to the reserve, and then we have a rye, and we have another one coming out, a strange collaboration. It's called where it's in Pinot barrels, and then we got a special one that's coming out later. Midsummer, that's just going to be fun.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah. Well, Spider, it's so great to have you. Yeah. Say hello to Pat for us, and sure. It's so good seeing you, and thank you for your support of Michigan.
Of course, yeah, I love the state. I just wish my great that aunt of mine was still alive. She was so sweet, such a beautiful human being, And all the people in Michigan are very, very sweet, very kind, nice people. So
well, stay safe and drink some good bourbon if you can find some.
I just found
I should have known.
Guys should be drinking a bourbon. So here I go. I have a little sip.
Oh yeah.
To the great people in the great state of Michigan, I love you all.
Thanks, Spider.
What a character. Well, but he's so humble too. He's been with some great Rick Springfield, John Way. Pat Benatar.
Rick Derringer.
Rick Derringer. Yeah, this guy is an incredible guitarist.
Oh, he's an icon. He really is. And to be that humble and that real and genuine, and to have done and been where he's been is commendable.
Yeah, very cool. All right, we need to get to some more music.
Yeah, maybe the Accidentals can play us out.
Are they still around?
I think so. Yeah. Would you mind closing the show out for us tonight and taking us to a wonderful place?
Sure, we got 2 more tunes. You want 1 or 2?
Well, I tell you, before why don't you go ahead and play 2 songs for us? But before you do that, I just want to say I had a little glitchy issue here. But thanks again for joining us, for helping this cause. You guys are the future of music in Michigan. You're representing our state. Just what Ginger Z is doing on a national level now, that's where you guys are going to be down the road. I think the best is still yet to come from you guys.
Oh my goodness. Can we put that on our website?
and Tom, we should encourage people one more time to donate.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, it doesn't matter how much, but if you've got a nickel in your pocket, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are hurting that need your help right now. Restaurant workers, hospitality workers, hotel workers, musicians that can't work right now. They're all eligible for this. So if you got a chance, you know, go to the site, click the link, and give whatever you can. It means a lot.
And don't forget the Daily Breather, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Check in on our Daily Breather at noon Eastern on facebook.com/theaccidentals.
It's a great way to release the stress and kind of, I love that you're doing that. It's just great, soothing for everyone.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, we needed that. Well,
All right.
it's been so great to tune in. Thank you for having us, and thank you for doing this. We
Oh.
really appreciate
Thank-
your efforts and your cause. It's super important that we stick together through all this.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, the
Stay
Accidentals.
socially distant.
The Accidentals, play us out, please.
Cool.
The sun has broke across the sky. On the gas, back to Lane. She's still at home. I'm still halfway. In 3 hours, I'll be by her side. Say hello before she says goodbye. Slow and steady. You still have time. You still have time. Hold on for me. You still have time. You still have time. Hands on the wheel, the minutes creep. Nothing's like steel. I'm in too deep. I can't admit I'm not that strong. I'll process it after she's gone. In 2 hours, I'll be by her side. Say hello before she says goodbye. Slow and steady. You still have time. You still have time. Hold on for me. You still have time. You still have time. Clock will spite me, but I'll never quit. Even if the wheels fall flat, even if I have to sprint. Said I'd be there and I meant it. Slow and steady. You still have time. You still have time. Hold on for me. You still have time. You still have time. You still have time. You still have time.
Cool. Yeah. Speaking of time, got time for one more song. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a mantra going forward. We gotta be responsible and stick together and help each other out during this time. Please, once more, donate to the link. It's right on the screen right now. It helps out all the people on the front lines trying to protect people and keep them safe.
All the hospitality workers, everyone,
Small businesses,
restaurants and hotels. all the stuff that we miss. Now that we're
Yeah.
home. Cool. This one's called "How Many Hands."